already wants to go lethality to win the lane, and with Heimerdinger here, it's actually going to be really hard for Cassio to navigate the team fights in the 5v5. However, her biggest stack up the E passive, no dashes on anyone.
And you can see he hit level 6. He wanted to kill that minion to get it, but now in the bottom lane, it's EG making the dive. First blood, and they get the money on FBI. Realm Warp shows up to bring in JoJo for backup. They're not done yet. They want to get both here, and Luger's shot to pieces. Double kill for FBI.
I think the best thing you can do here is try to create a scenario where you're either creating a monster of a snake, so you go mid and get a huge Cassiopeia with this Rift Herald, you find a play mid, or Jax. Alternatively, if you can't do anything there, hopefully you can get priority on mid lane, and then try and get some of that gold back into the Sivir with the Herald. So you actually go to your weakest lane and try to help him get back into the game.
Oh, they're looking for a potential dive here, though. Dokla does have his E available, but he uses it now. So this could actually be really dangerous. He's not going to have that Counter-Strike available, and they are going to start up the dive.
JoJo comes in, dropping the Rune Prison, trying to get him low enough. Dokla wants to outplay it, but there's just no way, man. JoJo gets the money.
Exchange back, he's going to lose that 1v1. That way, it's much easier for Palafox to
Vulcan's
dodge.
behind him. He's in trouble.
He's looking doomed here.
Well, he does sidestep the grenade, but you can't sidestep Rune Prison. Damage doesn't come out super fast, but it will come out fast enough for the money.
Yeah, Contracts just waited very, very long, and then he was moving towards mid lane to drop it, and he ran into the Elise. And basically, the Elise kept him in combat there.
The game that's summoned, and they're going to use it to knock down the mid lane tier 1.
And I just love how EG are moving in, and they're taking control of the enemy jungle here, getting wards, setting up turrets, having Inspired and JoJo and Vulcan playing.
Melee range of the Sejuani, even if he gets caught in a room like a glacial prison, it doesn't matter. Because Sivir doesn't even do enough damage before the CCN Archangels. However, Elise, most would argue, does not scale well. That said, against Jax, he doesn't have actually any tools.
In their bot side jungle, there's way more EG wards down there.
A lot of TPs coming out.
CLG trying to make the move here. However, EG may be able to respond. Vulcan gets caught out. A lot of damage to burst him down, but it's not quite there in time. And they have to trade Dokla away for it. Someday gets back over the wall. Contracts wants to chase him, but Sejuani alone will not have the damage. They bring over Palafox to get it done, but now they're both stuck on the wrong side of the enemy line. Contracts tries to keep on running and running and running and running, but he won't run nowhere. JoJo goes on a killing spree, and Palafox tries to slither away. The arrow flies, but it won't hit the target. Palafox just looking for an execute at this point if he can get it. One more turret shot, he'll get the execution. I mean, possibly try to fight for this Drake. They're just too far behind to take a fight in open ground. It's not the soul yet, but this will be soul point now for Evil Geniuses. 5 minutes.
At this point, Plus has all the kills to his belt. It's going to be really difficult, but JoJo's very far out here.
Uh-oh. Isaac, did you just cast or curse this
I'm
man?
sorry.
You turned him into a mid-lane buffet. Gonna take an extra second to get there, but they should be able to pick it right. That takes so long to kill him. Good lord, man.
That's a Cassiopeia.
Just fight him real quick. Just give him a snake bite. There we go. Shut down the Palafox. Yeah, he's not afraid of this.
He can't even
Jax.
defend the tower at this point.
Whatsoever.
That's how bad it is. Like, the tower's too low HP, but even this tier 3 at full HP, with the wave, as long as JoJo sees all 4 members.
Steady. Dokla's off on the flank. Poom staying right next to Luger, so he can't be jumped on. Someday wants a flank. Looking for the angle here. Knocks the Arctic armor off of Contracts. So Sejuani's going to have to be a bit more careful about things now. EG have forced them out of the river. They've got total control over the area. Now they're going to start up the Drake. Now here comes the engage. Contracts goes to the Arctic prison, but he ain't going to find it. You got Someday here in the very front. He's taken low, but he ain't taken down. JoJo also eating a lot of damage, and CLG have forced them back.
Inspired still here, though.
Not done yet.
Inspired may yet be able to smite steal
Here's
this
where the
away.
TPs are coming in. They don't have double TP. They have to burst the dragon down and get out.
Not gonna find it. There it is. Objective bounty claims. CLG backs against the wall. They saved the Dragon Soul, but JoJo's not done. EG's still looking to find a little bit more. JoJo goes in. They grab the kill on Dope, but they followed up with Poom. JoJo survives thanks to stasis, and now he flashes away to safety. Palafox falls as he kills JoJo with a poison. It's 3 for 1 for EG.
Playing as if they know, yeah.
He's got no vision.
He just has to
Total burger
flip a
flip.
coin. Total burger flip. We love to see it. Blow up comes on. Here he is.
Over the wall. It's Varus. Neither jungler gets this.
I actually really like what they did. In the rotation, no flash fires, no flash Heimerdinger, no flash Rise, no flash Elise, right? Just had a huge team fight. Everyone burned their flashes. Sejuani still had her flash available, so I actually would have liked an even harder force. I would have wanted to flash ult forward, guarantee the stun. Just throw everything you've got on a front-to-back team fight and just send it, because at this point, yeah. Defending towers against all this poke and CC, it's going to be really hard.
It is a problem for CLG as the mid lane tier 2 line across the board. 10 flashes ready to go. EG with control over the Drake right now. Contracts fires off the ulti, but it does not make direct contact. Someday wants to frontline here a little bit. The Drake is low. The objective bounty is claimed by Contracts, and CLG does it again. The soul denied a second time. Dokla jumping back over the wall, but he'll be bit by Inspire. Just wants to hard force this. They've already got the Baron down below half HP. Contracts goes in, finds the glacial prison there on the FBI, but there's no follow-up here yet. Not onto a valuable target. JoJo's gonna be focused. He's taking a lot of damage, but the shield's gonna proc and keep alive. Someday now, soaking most of it. CLG, do you believe? EG's on the run. CLG turning their attention right back over to Baron. The scaling is happening right in front of our eyes, boy.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy.
Wait.
Nice try.
Flashbacks to Gumayushi there for a second.
The top side of EG wants to run into them.
Yeah.
They're not great at kiting as much. So Someday is buying a lot of time staring out at
But
Sejuani.
if CLG at this point, I fully agree. When your carries are on 4 items, if you're able to just group 5 and take a straight up front to back team fight, there's no way EG are winning that. So
Even 3. So EG's not going to proactively play around that. That said, Luger has no flash. The only way to win is to get on top of their carries. Ideally, you kill both. We'll see how they play this fight out.
Well, CLG's just gonna start to burn the Drake. They throw out Sejuani's ulti to go after Inspired. They force him away, and the Drake is secured by CLG. They will tie that.
the advantage is back over and over and over.
And this has been both games now this weekend for EG. Early leads into mid-game mistakes. JoJo getting caught now all alone in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's even gonna write the obituary contract.
The neutral objective and pray to God that JoJo isn't going to start split pushing and break us up. Because once the 5v5 started happening, it's all been CLG. It wasn't as clean. It wasn't like, yeah, whoa, this game's great all of a sudden. Baron gets started up. Looks to be a contest here. We will see if they can burst it in time. That's
They
gone.
can. Vulcan's ult.
Straight to what CLG have.
25 seconds.
Here they
till
go.
Dragon. Looking for some exchanges here. Contracts are really hard here. Looking for JoJo.
Contracts
JoJo's no flash.
engages. JoJo's gonna be your target. He's low. He pops the Zonias, trying to buy a little bit more time. Contracts lines up the Arctic Assault. And
Fired on
JoJo comes down. Palafox, he's using his own stasis, but Inspired won't be able to get the damage. CLG killed everybody. It's a triple over to Big Dokes, and it's the game over to Counter Logic Gaming.
What a start to the season for CLG. They're going to be 2-0, sitting at the top of the table here, taking down EG in what was nearly a 10,000 gold deficit. Soul Point 4 times in a row. CLG hang on and they take down EG.
Come on, we know what it's gonna be. All right, Cassante locked in, so we're gonna get to see the Cassante versus Jax matchup once more. Can Licorice manage to out the conversation in a game like this? Is do you try to plug the holes in the ship that is sinking, or do you just put another cannon on your main battleship and sail that sucker straight into the port, right? Like, I'm curious how they're gonna decide to do this as River makes his way into the top side, and they'll look for a 2v1 against Fudge. Oh! And he's all in! He finds the kill, but River's got enough CC to burst him down before
For him, Flabber, working on another neutral objectives. You know, you have those winning side lanes, means the neutrals are generally going to be yours. Winning top lane, got him Herald. Winning bot lane, gets him Dragon. Diplex dropping some vision around here as well. Diplex has at least like kind of stabilized, losing position here. Wants to keep him safe. Sven even moving up. They've got a lot of vision around. They're going aggressive.
Now it's dive time. Diplex gets the kill, and that's going to feel
Very, very similar to now what happened last game. Gets the kill in the 1v2. Gets all of the gold off of that Herald being crashed down here this tier 2. He was just going to hold on to that. So it does give them prio to play towards bot side, but now...
Nice gank from River. They want to get this money on Young. Diplex gets away. Diplex,
You're kidding me!
Young falls 1v2.
For the entire thing, but they're looking for the setup. In he goes. He lands the stun. Q back to the wave. Then the E forward. Really nice bait here. Pulls him in. And now, as he steps forward, Young goes forward. So the turret is onto him. Stolen ult, Everfrost as well. Okay, another kill on top side.
4,000 gold after that botched attempt on a mid lane dive versus Diplex, who, I mean, that gold.
We can see Sven did a really good job with his Frostbang, already collecting 900 gold, so there's 600 on the other side, but they're gonna go for a fight.
Blabber's already in there, Stixay's already dead, and who he's gonna join him? Can they take out Licorice as well?
Yes.
He wants to get Sven, but he can't do it, man. The support king lives to see another day. And the Herald is going to help C9 clean their third.
Okay, so, well, get his 500 already. Congratulations. Has been dominant in the LCS. Only has 2 kills, though. I thought he needed more than that to get 500. So something
Wait, it
was
says he
funky.
needs 3. But I remember a stat, I believe, from last year. I think he's only got like 1, maybe 2 wins against Cloud9 after leaving that team. And it's just been his kryptonite as River getting caught here, having to try to stay alive, but Blabber ends up getting shut down. Nice turnaround coming out from the Golden Guardians. Licorice tries to get out, should be finished off here by Diplex. Berserker's under pressure. They took out the Zeri. Golden Guardians may have just found the fight they need. Fudge, however, ready to turn it right back around. It's Cassante, baby! Triple kill over to Fudge. Make it a quadra. Why not? Now,
Play there from Fudge. And they're just straight onto the bear. 20 minutes in, Cloud9 says, yep, let's get it.
just daring Golden Guardians to stop them, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Baron's at 4K, Young's at 400. Fudge is just running them over, man. He is dominating. You know, Isaac, I think if I take one side of my headset off right here, I can faintly hear the sound of thousands of keyboards complaining about how balanced Cassante is all over the North American region, as Fudge is showing absolute domination of the entire Rift here on this champion. 7-1-2. The man is a powerhouse.
They let him cook up there in that top lane, and he's punishing him now. Fudge, man, is just looking in form already here. Early season, hard carrying 2 games back-to-back. He's going to find another one, isn't he? Oh, he is.
He's not done. Licorice, it's...
Get out of there, Licorice!
Man, I don't think there's anywhere for him to go, but all the way. Go ahead and push up bottom lane here. He's got Blabber right next to him. Sven's waiting just inside the jungle to provide support in case they get collapsed on. But there's no way Golden Guardians can collapse. They're all stuck in the base. They can't even leave the walls.
Yeah.
And Cloud9, Baron up, are looking to maybe
Blabber's
just in it
going.
right now. Blabber's already found Stixay. The AD carry gets away, but it costs him his ghost to try to do it. C9 forcing down the tier 3. They've already got it gone, and I don't think anything's going to save that inhibitor.
Cloud9 saw EG. He's having some trouble.
Back to back to back.
Yep.
And it's highly unlikely. We'll put it that way. It is highly
That's
unlikely.
an optimistic way of putting it.
That such a situation would, well, I got to match your positivity talking about how Cassante might still die. We've got to be, we're being cheeky together, buddy. Diplex caught in the middle of multiple Golden Guardians players. They're bringing the whole team.
Fudge!
Fudge is ready to go. You should have brought more men. 1v5 is not a fair fight for the Golden Guardians. Fudge is ready to go. Diplex gets himself away. E2 right back in. Sven with the save. You gotta be messing with me, man. No way. Diplex still alive. Finally dropped. That was clutch from Sven, and the Golden Guardians are just decimated.
Fudge didn't want the 1v5. He takes the 1v1 instead down mid. Nexus towers are already under fire here.
Man. Whew. I think this one's just about all wrapped up, my friends. Cloud9 working on inhib number 2, inhibitor turret number 3. Remember that bottom lane has already been broken. Young tries to stand and fight, but no way, man. I can't even finish the sentence before his body hits the dirt. Diplex grabbing another one here onto River. 5 kills on that Silas. Second highest on the team, but still only half as much as Fudge's Cassante. Licorice, nope, there's no way you're gonna be able to tank that one up, Counter-Strike or not. First Nexus turret falls. It's Berserker claiming the credit on it. They'll fall right on back to the remaining tier 3. They can finish that off. They know they've got a 5v3 here against Licorice, Stixay, and Huhi. Jax doesn't have any ability to really enter the fight or do anything. As soon as he tries, he'll be instantly destroyed. As we have the Yuumi ulti looking to slow these guys down. Fudge will lead the charge. Blabber backs it up. Licorice and Huhi run back into the fountain as Stixay runs out of health. And that's it, man. Cloud9 might pad their stats a little bit more here. Fudge is just working on minions. He's farming while the rest of the team's fighting. Now he jumps in. Young wants it. He's not going to get a whole lot, I don't think. He tries to dash back around and heal up. Berserker gets the kill as Licorice drops the double over to Berserker. C9 clean out. long day. A little bit of a thing hovering in front of him. So no Talia. It'll be a Zir instead for Maple. So some powerful, powerful scaling in the solo lanes of TS. Little baby chickens. Boogie gets level 3 now after visiting mid.
I like that he actually just walked mid and leached a little XP to hit 3 there, though. That's actually really smart. So going to be able to grab that, and that allows him to keep fighting with Pioshik. If you're level 2, you can't actually scrap with that level 3 Sejuani. That would be a bit risky, but Chime going down!
Wow! Game. Maybe you need to play Halo Blades Callista instead of Lethal Temple to get the advantage. Just trying to...
bubble.
Nice catch there on the bubble from the Nami. Core JJ sets it up for Yon to just pick up another.
And fortunately, even though he invested time in the bottom side, bot lane's been... it looks doomed.
Also, a really nice first Drake for them to be able to get, right? But Core JJ throws out an ulti of his own. Pioshik comes over the wall. They look for the chain CC, but Boogie can get out of the way there with his flash. He's barely alive, but Akali's coming in, and she looks hungry for blood. Harry picks up one. Can he find a second? Tries to get it, but he won't. TSM making a 1-for-1 play.
Fantastic smoke screen there by Boogie, making sure that Harry couldn't use his point and click
down. Harry trying to finish it off with the R2, but it's flashed by Neo, so nice flash keeps the Kalista alive. Is that 1-for-1? But it's Boogie who claims the Dragon. It's the second one there for TSM now, so despite TL, being in the driver's seat on that bottom side, it is TSM.
Liquid, they got that first one. They're looking to maintain control over that second. As Summit goes for the slam into the wall on Maple. He shuffled back into the turret. And a cross-map arrow just going to seal his fate. They give the shutdown over to Boogie.
Trying to actually push him back into that corridor. Or if he was able to actually shoot it out late enough, but it is Pioshik here, and they're TPing back in.
And Boogie has no way out. Remember, the flash still down.
Pay attention to the Ashe Arrow, pay attention to the Ornal when it comes up. It is not available yet.
Oh boy. We might not have an Ashe Arrow at all, my friend. Chime. Oh, wow. Clutch save there from Neo. Harry's going to look for the end anyway, and he finds it, jumps right.
So I'm not sure if Neo is actually in range, but it's nice to see at least the Ashe is walking up with the Fate's Call. I do think we want to press the button a little earlier or stay a little closer together.
And that was a very important pick for the side of Team Liquid because now they guarantee that they get that third Drake of the game. They stopped it. Horn summoned up. Solo there, gets stunned by Pioshik. They tried to use it so he couldn't get the R2, but the timing wasn't quite where it needed to be. Now Maple jumps in. He really wants Summit here, trying to get on top of him so he can summon up the soldiers. Ends up committing the flash, and it's Boogie point blank range with the 12 gauge, takes him out. But now Maple has committed a lot to make that play happen, and he finds himself behind enemy lines, but backed up by his own man. TSM moving as a unit.
Even if they don't get that kill, they're pushing up that tier 1 top, so they delay the bases. They buy time for someone to work on the tier 2 mid as well. The TP comes in from Maple, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a little bit too late, if they could actually chase in on this, but Maple just hard commits to it. Yon on the other side spends the culling, doesn't really get that much done, and now Summit. Jungle quadrant, and be ready for an next protection dragon here.
Pioshik's gonna move up. They find Callista this time. They know that she can save the Ashe, but she cannot save herself.
1K gold per blade, I believe. It's pretty good. They are going through the bottom lane. I actually like that TSM's committed to just pushing through bot lane here and saying, you know what, you want to take my mid tower? Go ahead and take it. I want this dragon for it. So if Summit shows mid, we're just going to bulldozer down this dragon as 5 people.
But look at the positioning here from TL. They're trying to threaten flanks from multiple sides. Summit from the top, Harry from the bottom, trying to look for this pincer play. Harry now is trying to approach. Can he actually get in there?
TL's going in. Summit has no Mega Gnar. Core JJ's already committed the ulti. He's going to get back away. There's a lot of damage poured in for TSM. TL, you got to be more careful than this. Pioshik nearly killed. Harry tries to run. 200 HP left on the Team Liquid mid laner. TSM just stops them in their tracks.
Like I mentioned, without the culling, there's nothing that's really creating space for the TL flankers to go in.
Oh
As
boy!
the Mega Gnar goes in, everything is flashed.
Summit, that was not the angle you needed, buddy. I saw it in his eyes, but so did TSM. They were ready. They respond.
Harry?
But now Harry's trying to get something.
He's got nothing, though.
He's still not got enough damage to pick up any of these kills. Now he's finally going to get Chime. Neo will kite him out. They'll trade 1-for-1 there. The support for the mid laner. It's 3 dead on TL. It's 2 dead on TSM. And they'll take the objective.
Remaining after that play. Back to live. Another Ashe Arrow connects.
Here we go. They found a pick potentially on the Pioshik. He does not escape this time. A killing spree for Neo. And Faithful's ready to air it too.
right over by it. They
Oh,
get
this Baron, sorry. Contesting this Baron is just desperation. You're never getting this. Ornn's going to walk into the culling and tank it completely. A hero play from Harry is necessary to turn this around.
He finds the E on the Boogie. He may be able to assassinate the jungler, but the Gore Drinker keeps him alive. TSM, they'll get the Baron. They lose their jungler. They trade him 1-for-1 for the enemy mid, and now they'll see if they can grab
It feels great. You get punished by Gnar for 15 minutes straight. You hate your life, and then now you're just winning the game because you picked Ornn into Gnar, and the game wasn't over. 15 minutes of punishment, it's not enough.
He threads the needle on the Ornn ulti there.
You're giving them about 2,400 to 3K gold worth of value. That plus the 3 dragons. TSM is well and truly in the lead with the scaling advantage probably.
Laser maneuver to catch these guys. Summit still potentially in harm's way here. Ash Arrow comes out. Follow-up knockup coming in from Solo. Culling does a lot of damage over to Neo, and Harry's ready to jump into the back line. Neo stays alive. Harry's right back on him. The shutdown over to Core JJ. Chime's gonna die next, and Team Liquid does the alley-oop. There's the scoop. Boogie's down. TL gets 3 for nothing, and Core ain't done. He interrupts the charge away from Solo. It might take a whole damn clip, but Jan's got enough bullets for him this time. Solo will drop, and it's Team Liquid, of course, getting 4.
That is huge for TL. They find the angle to get the...
Continue playing the game, but League officials are continuing to also investigate in the background to make sure the lag doesn't influence anything going forward from this point, because
Being able to block the culling when he doesn't have this item to when he does, it's not to say that he can't block it, it's going to stay.
Oh! What a good shot, man!
My God.
Maple's still making his way over, so TSM approaching slowly and carefully. It's Solo who will just walk his way up there. Summit transformed into the Mega Gnar for only a couple moments longer. Now that he reverts to Mini, there's your arrow. It finds Pioshik, that's the tank. But TSM's still not too worried about it. Nice read on Jan's dash from Solo, but nobody else is in range to follow it up. Now Harry looks for his opportunity to go in, jukes out that Shurima shuffle, and Harry has to go golden trying to survive. TSM pushes forward, Harry dives to Chime. Summit now running away angle here, but he has no Narbar, so it's not like he can jump in and do a whole lot about this. Pioshik wants to try to steal, but it won't happen. It's secured by Neo, and TSM have the Infernal Soul. Jan's got nowhere to go. He's dead in the middle of 5, and TSM is controlling this.
It's a great force from TSM. They know that Harry has to get up, has to be able to TP into that fight for them to really be able to take it. So all TL can do is look for the 50-50, and now Summit is caught.
Summit trying to kite this one out, maybe turn it around! There's TSM from grabbing this Baron here. He knows it. You gotta think TL's gonna go in and try to steal, but TSM DPS is slowly so that they're ready to counterattack as Pioshik makes his entrance. Now they're gonna secure the Baron. Boogie's got the smite. Pioshik tries to get away, but he's already down. Summit has to disengage and hop back over the wall as TSM need to be careful here. Neo forced both summoners as he disengages. TSM get themselves another Baron.
My God, this is ear damage is disgusting. Is there?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the scoreboard, and he doesn't have a death cap, but I swear he hits people for 2 or 3 times. They're almost dead instantly. Ash Arrow connects, 2 hits from his ear, and you're going home. It's actually really incredible. I actually think they might be pushing for an end here. Probably, I would say you should recall here, but they're posturing mighty aggressively.
Yes, sir, they are. TSM 5v4 for the next 15 seconds. There's your Ornhorn. Harry trying to find a valuable target as the arrow flies out, but Chime won't hit anybody. Half HP on him. Solo's low, but Harry's down. 1-for-1. Traded top for mid here in the defense. Team Liquid.
It's definitely not in your favor, so we try to make a miracle happen here, but so close, yet so far.
Yeah, tries to get in there. Felt like he had to go for it. They could feel the game slipping away. Summit in the side lane, trying to create some pressure, trying to make something happen. As it is TSM pushing through top here. Looking really strong, honestly. I think, a much stronger TSM than people were expecting to come out here. People
Absolutely.
had them, down towards the bottom of the standings, and TL up towards the top. But it's TSM that withstood the early game and is now looking like they are in full control of this one.
They're looking at the Nexus.
Yeah, they just want to end this game. They're using the TP on the minion to guarantee they're able to tank up the Nexus turrets for a longer amount of time. First Nexus turret's already down. Core JJ with a nice bubble there onto Boogie, followed up with the Glacial Prison, but they can't go in far enough to get the kill. Summit is down. Neo's got it, and now Team Liquid stands 4v5. TSM is not seriously injured. Harry's trying to get somebody, but Chime's only going to be saved by Neo's ulti yet again. The Akali is down. There goes everybody else. Maple with The shuffle TSM with the scuffle, and they'll take down TL. TSM.
One of the empowered W swipes from Renekton also counts as an auto attack that can instantly stack your Sejuani stun. So those two can definitely stun lock somebody. Nice job here by Kenvi. 2,000 health left on the dragon. As Closer's fishing around, time is running out. And it is going to be smote away. There's no smite for Closer, so even if he blast stoned in there, wouldn't be able to yoink it.
And you can see Tenacity and Doublelift both accumulating a decent amount of gold. Immortals starting up this Rift Herald. 100 Thieves in the vicinity, that leaves opportunity to make the play down bot, throwing down the ultimate, and Tactical lost for this world. First blood traded back though.
Yeah.
See if they decide to make anything happen along those lines, because Immortals have everyone except for Revenge stunned directly onto Blaze. All about to flash away, but they take down Kenvi. Ultimate from Yuumi, pretty good at zoning. A Blaze Olive barely surviving. Closer looking to finish it off. The blast cone to create some space for Tactical. 2 down for Immortals, and 100 Thieves can turn back onto the dragon.
100 Thieves blow this game up. A Blaze Olive gets stunned at the edge of the gravity field. Bjergsen traps him, and that makes an easy call for 100 Thieves. As soon as Closer up the dragon in the aftermath. 100 Thieves back at it!
Coming back, another stun of Blaze Olive getting cooked. Who knew Olives was going to be the greatest ingredients in this cooking stream, as 100 Thieves take...
You have been utterly destroyed early game. Immortals, see if they can actually cash one of those objective bounties out. Starting with the bottom lane.
Polymorph and Big, it's not enough. Tenacity does go. He's able to take this turret, but with the numbers down bot for IMT, they're able to make a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, that's actually going to be huge. The bounties have fallen off, so they already got close enough. He's still going to get the tower, though. Nice escape from a Blaze this time. Dodges away from the Sejuani ultimate. Sivir going to eventually get that solo tower gold on bottom side. But 100 Thieves, as we mentioned from Champion Select, they're the ones, they get the early snowball, they use that power to get the last of the outer turrets down already, and retaining control of the neutral objectives, stacking their dragons for themselves. So marginal increase on the gold lead. Now Ornn has gotten the wave again and does get the cooldown plus the tower.
A trade of the Glacial Prison for that flash. Teleport coming through from Immortals as well. Can be somewhat junked in the Ornn Horn. Tries to get one but cannot. Doublelift still with a cat on his back is doing damage. Tenacity into the back line he goes, but should be getting burned. Revenge manages to survive, but stunned on the outset. Look at that ultimate coming on through with the Everest Divide. A Blaze Olive into some trouble. Wild Growth targeted on Tactical, but it cannot keep him up. Doublelift doing way too much damage. Closer still survives. The rest of the team did. And now sitting pretty out of the bush they go. A Blaze Olive looking for the shuffle on in. Gets a knockup and more onto Tenacity. Final chapter going out across the rest of them. And Revenge has to back off. Kenvi has to back off. Doublelift has to venture on shoreward.
These top lane tanks, both healing mythic items for themselves. The Gore Drinker kept Tenacity alive for a lot longer. And then the Radiant Virtua as well kept the Ornn alive for a lot longer. And in the end, 100 Thieves, Gage is theirs to take. Flank down here from Renekton, you see Tenacity, he pushed out the wave, heading down to look for it.
Oh, but the fight's starting up. Can be in the center of it all, is already into terrible position. A Blaze Olive gets stunned up by the ultimate once more. Revenge right there with Immortals on his back. They aren't there anymore, because guess what? 2 of them died. Flash forward from Tactical to try to get an escape, but look at that damage coming out of Doublelift. Said I got you! I'm gonna go this way! Go get my 80 carry!
Standards, Doublelift just threw him back. Fleshy, no need to kill that one. He goes after Tactical. The 80 carries are what he really cares about. Takes him down.
Doublelift a bit picky about the protein with which it's been a good look for them today.
Definitely a good one. Bjergsen as well on this Victor. Kind of assassinating to the Sejuani and then almost dies. Bjergsen chases him down. They want to finish it.
Yeah, now with the buff and everything, 100 Thieves are feeling pretty confident as they push forward. Revenge throwing his body at the rest of them, stunned up and blasted down to give his life here. And with the push of Tenacity over on this bot side, 100 Thieves can spread their pressure across 2 lanes to take these towers simultaneously and have Immortals with their tails between their legs.
And their base in rubble as well. 2 inhibitors instantly destroyed. 100 Thieves not looking to let it go too long.
buff, they've got the play, they've got the smiles on their faces, I'm sure, looking to try and take their first win here. Nexus turret number 1 falling, the second one to boot. Kenvi goes in. They have to do something to try and prevent the continuation of this stand. But Closer looking to set up for the rest of the team, forcing a flash out of Fleshy here. So many minions coming in as well. The supers coming from mid lane means they'll have that additional support if they decide to stay on by, but the rest of the team has spawned for Immortals.
Tenacity gonna teleport right back in and finish it right now. They've got a lot of money, but they've got more power.
They're going for it. 100 Thieves, eyes on the Nexus here against Immortals. Just trying to outpoke them. Tenacity going into the back lane, gets a little bit of a sweep onto Tactical, but on the opposite side, plays off with the last attempt, gets eliminated. Double Lip still in pursuit, turning 2 more players into their fountain. 100 Thieves dismantling Immortals Nexus as slow as they can to get the kills, putting their first win of the season on the board.
Shift is so incredibly valuable, and since they're the ones that got their hands on the Karma, stealing the Karma away from the Olaf side, should have
C3 for FlyQuest group here. Armud venturing on forward. And he's in the center of them all. Burn down, slippity slap, first blood. Santorin having already spent that time, all the while FlyQuest with that knowledge of that attention on top side, start to bring down this Drake. And a last hit'll do it. FlyQuest in his jungle. Jensen position, Spica still hovering around this riverside, taking a lot of damage. Vikala slamming onto him. Spica and Impact now ready to collapse. The flash out for Jensen. He goes in. Vikala being so hyped.
And I think people, it's very difficult because you don't have access, you know, as a viewer, to the comms of all the teams that Impact has been on. But if you talk to any player that has ever played with him, as he gets ganked right now, and I've cursed him, sorry, buddy.
He's just
if you talk to any no small part, a huge reason why people are rating this team so high.
And now Spica throwing out the first ultimate of the game, getting the root onto 1 while this Rift Herald is the target for all. Dignitas still funneled here into the pit. Spica haven't come back after getting polymorph. The Vikla is the next target, going into the backline to try and get this kill onto Armut, but he himself gives his life in the favor of Armut. Still in pursuit. Winsome flashing over the wall to try and escape Jensen right now, even with the... They are a contender, even though FlyQuest is picking up the second dragon right now, to the knowledge of Dignitas. And I know that they're waiting on Ignar coming through, for instance, but Biofrost is a long-standing...
And Spica kind of mirroring here on the Maokai is going to force them off again.
Heal on both sides has been gone, and Spawn without it falls. A root from the ultimate from Spica. Wild Growth onto Santorin.
Because Prince easily takes it. I think Prince was thinking, all right, I force a splash here, no problem. Arcane shift forward, but gets even better. Popped up. Another ult goes wide down the middle, though.
The lack of mobility on Varus also seems like it highlights all the more what Ezreal can do in trying to get rid of him. But right now, this is where you throw down the Rift Herald for a bit of that distraction, because now Armut is the center of this attention. Ultimate thrown out from Spica. Vikla taking Raj just for that intel to peel them off, to get that space granted, because now FlyQuest are on the dragon. This will be sole point for them. Dignitas too far positioned to be able to collapse upon this. And FlyQuest wanting to turn it a bit back on them, looking for the opening, but Santorin's the first one to venture on forward. Teleport coming directly onto the tower, and a flash by Spawn to answer what Vikla was doing. Santorin, the subject of the Wild Growth.
Squad. They call over Vikla. He comes over with Impact to try and force a little bit more out. And while they didn't get a kill there, they got, again, both were controlling the side lanes.
It's those little tiny steps forward and landing the Chain of Corruption, but not in the spot you need it. Coming through with the ult and answered by Spica once more. So Santorin throwing it down, gets rid of himself. That's a root onto 2 and a blast of a Lulu. Santorin on the retreat. Are gonna take this Poro and put her on a stake? Maybe. Looks like FlyQuest are ready to do it. The rest of the team backing
Sejuani ultimate. That's a stolen Sejuani ultimate. That's a way more difficult for a Varus to dodge than an Ested. So here's another look at it. Again, they're threatening for the dive on him. They want to take this time. They actually make the trap happen, collapse, take them off the map, take the Baron off the map, and then that will be a huge payoff. It'll make the game way closer, way more interesting. Vikla.
Vikla, next one with the crosshairs on him. Here's all of Dignitas, a teleport coming through. Jensen, expertly empowered, is answered by going golden on the side of Vikla. Way into the backline. Impact is targeted, separated from the remainder of the team. A root and then a kill onto Santorin. Prince continuing to get stronger and stronger. Another pop goes the Weasel. Bring it on forward with the flash and heal and more. Cannot connect with the Q, but he's got the hunger in his eyes, and he knows Vikla is here to start putting them on the plate for him. Biofrost on the retreat, though. They're slapping the spawn around. They get some more damage. Double kill for Prince, and it's only Armut standing in the mid lane, but the rest of Dignitas has fallen.
Vikla with the deep teleport from downtown comes from behind Dignitas' own tower to support in the catch there for Prince, who had just run into it. In the end, neither of them die, but it is going to be a Cloud Soul picked up here for FlyQuest.
FlyQuest really find those different angles to collapse upon the enemy.
A little bit of a 1v1 here.
On him.
Not for long.
Yeah, taking the ultimate, going Ragnarok himself. Ragnarok for Ragnarok traded right there, basically, and had Spica by his side too. Dignitas are in that, we're in our base, we're trying to hold off against these pushing waves. They do have that top side wave pushing in their favor, but it's the entirety of FlyQuest that are knocking on their door.
I like the mini game here. Armut's like, you know what? This game is toast. Please, let me get some vision.
On both sides. Digger looking for the angle to try and get some vision over here into the pit, and Vikla into the back. Spawn is the target. Spawn is the first in the grave, followed by Armut. FlyQuest making sure to push them and punish them for coming into their territory here in the jungle, here in the river. Santorin still sees the blood in Vikla's eyes, sandwiched between himself and Winsome. And FlyQuest, it's the ace for them. It's the collapse into the base.
Children, avert your eyes. It's a massacre.
FlyQuest striving to become the main characters of spring here against Dignitas, secure a 2-0 start for their 2023 season and build the hype that has been mounting. Of course, want to take a couple more kills on their way out and a little bit of meow time, but here you have it, a victory at that.